How's everybody doing? Who is here live? What's going on with the link? Is it usually clicky and it's not clicky this time? AC April's here. Big Will is here. Chris is here. I certainly haven't seen this game. Should be a good one. It's got a fair bit to live up to in terms of the women's games. The last one we watched was that final a while back, and that was a cracker. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. Hurricanes jacket because it's cold, man, and I'm being a big wuss. It is cold, at least cold for Auckland, cold. So yes, Bosty bro, how's it going? Mark, how are you, sir? Do you get any sleep? Do you? You can't be sleeping. Every time I do these streams at this time of night, it's a god awful time for you. I know that. Grant, how are you, sir? Daramundi, how's it going? Wednesday streams a gift as always. I do. I mean, it's you guys that suggested the Wednesday streams continue. To be honest, one thing I do enjoy them is I can just. I don't have to do a review after the game. Not that the reviews are work, but I can literally just sit back and watch this game and just chill, have a beer, and then have a chat. Scooter, how is it? How is it going? Jason, Ben Lamb going to France. I think he's been on that ship for a while. 1:30 a.m. Mark, bro, you're up very late. I guess 1:30 is doable, but it's almost time to get ready for bed. Ultimate Browns fan, how is it? Odd stream, nah, it's normal. It's just a bit cold. Bloody freezing in Wellington. Yeah, man, I do feel cold, eh? Like, I'm warm in this jacket, honestly. I've only got a t-shirt on under this because the jacket is toasty. But I don't really need to wear this kind of jacket in Auckland very often. But yeah. April, nah, it's all good, man. I think last time we watched a women's game, it was bloody awesome. The feedback was really good, so I'm keen to see another one. Nice food takeaways. Always thinks I'm a Canes fan. They just didn't have any Blues one left, man. They were sold out. Sold out. Yeah, Canes merch, indeed. Boiling in Japan. I could. Grass is always greener, right? I could do a boiling right now. The good thing about these streams is that you just enjoy them exactly right. It's the closest thing, I guess. Just like watching a game back in the old days before I had a YouTube channel. But anyway, uh, no notes to be taken anyway. Boiling in the desert. Uh, anyway, it's yeah, it's a bit chilly here. What can I say? Anybody from the South Island will know that cold here is not really that cold in Auckland anyway. Right. Has everybody got the stream loaded up? Apparently there's some issues with the link. I think I'll post it one more time. This is the one we're watching. Just put that in the chat. So if you want to get loaded up, I'm going to start mine in a minute. It's an hour and 43 minutes long. Just moved up north from London. Definitely feel it's colder. Yeah, it's the opposite in England, right? The further north you go, the colder it is. Where in New Zealand, it's kind of the opposite. The further south you go, it's colder. Is the filling still bothering me? Or have I fixed it? The filling has not been fixed yet. I've still got a big old hole in my tooth. I don't know if it's a hole, but just the filling fell out. I'll get an appointment to fix that on Friday. And that will cost an arm and a leg because unlike in England where you got the NHS that covers dental, in New Zealand dental work is all user pays. So that's always fun. Yeah, a lot of people just don't get it done. But I mean, my old man, Gaza, he's got false teeth, so that's even worse. I'm kind of outing him, but he doesn't mind. He's had false teeth since he was like 17 or something. Down in Taranaki, it's pouring down. He still had rugby practice at 4. Goodness me. It's been pouring here as well, off and on, to be honest. Tian says, hey, 2 cents. Right, everybody, it's 8:32 over here in New Zealand, so we are going to get cracking. I've got the stream ready to go. New Zealand versus USA from 2017. It's in HD. in 720p, which is always nice. So I'm going to get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's get underway. Lineups. Winiata, Waka, Woodman, Cox Edge. I know most of the New Zealand girls now after that last game, I think. Maybe. Oh no, I did NHS dental work once, never again. Oh, is the NHS stuff that bad, is it? The American team, I'm probably at a bit of a loss as to most of these players. I don't know that I know many of them. Who should I be looking out for if you guys are familiar? When's Gaz's video coming? Maybe next Wednesday? Maybe? Don't know. It's in the bank, man. I'm kind of saving it for one day when I feel like, bro, I can't, like I got a sore throat or something and I don't want to do a video. So I can just like chuck out a Gaza video to fill the void. But I know because he wants to do another one. So he's always bugging me like, when are you going to do the video? When are you going to release the video? I feel bad, so maybe I should just put it out. At school, the dental bus rolls around and we get our teeth done. Yeah, that's true. Dental work, I should say, is free up until like age 18, I think. And then you got to pay. Hey, Darnell, how's it going, man? It is good over here. Big Will says, let's go. Yes, let us go. I'm already at 1.5 minutes on the YouTube tracker, so the teams are just coming out. And Porsha Woodman is a beast, indeed. She is. She's a hell of a player. Fred, don't know anything about the USA team. The Ferns are loaded with amazing players for this. Porsha Woodman is insanely good, says April. Yeah, I seem to remember when we watched the final, I think it was Woodman, she was surprisingly, like, wasn't she not on the scoreboard, or she was like kind of quieter than normal based on the preceding games where she was expected to just kind of score tries for fun? Yeah. They're lining up for the anthems. I should say, I did buy some different beer. I ran out of Foster's, and I bought I bought Budweiser. So I honestly don't remember trying Budweiser before. My old man reckons I've had it. I probably have had it, maybe in my early 20s, but certainly too long ago for me to remember now. So I guess it's fitting, seeing as it's a game featuring the States. US winger has a fair crack in this game. That sounds promising. Sounds very promising. You're right, she was well marked in the final. Yeah, they probably doubled up on her based on what they've seen in the previous games. Budweiser, Jesus, says Chris. American Lion Red says nice food takeaways. I'll try it. I'm not a connoisseur. Would Super Rugby teams have women's teams one day, or do they have them already? John, the Aussie teams have them, but nobody else. They have Super W in the Aussie comp, but it's only for Australians. Yeah. Big Will's on the Coronas. Good man. Haven't ever seen you enjoying a Stella. You might be right. Hey, Fleshin, how are you, sir? From Foster's to Budweiser, you're showing your class. I don't know about that, man. But anyway, cheers, everybody. Budweiser. I don't know. Tastes like beer. It's alright. I think. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say... No, it's gone. Something about beer, I think. You prefer Czech Budweiser, the original? Oh, about Stella's. I looked at the box, and it seems like these are actually made in America. Like, that's what it said on the box. It's actually imported from America. I've got this weird thing about when I buy beers, which are foreign brands, that I want to buy imported ones rather than locally brewed. I don't know why. It's like a real bugbear of mine when I pick up a box of Asahi and I see brewed in Auckland, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't seem legit. Like Corona, they don't do like locally brewed, right? Stella is very drinkable. That's true. That's right. I'm in Australia. I wasn't sure if New Zealand had them yet. Also missing Spates. Yeah, Gazza likes the old Spates, to be honest. Yeah, in New Zealand, we've only got the kind of provincial competition, which has women's teams. Um, yeah, that's still, I think, been on the back burner until recently with COVID. So yeah. Big Will says I'm the same. Has to be imported. Good man. So it's not just me. Ruben says, ever seen the lady who had a gender change in Aussie rugby or AFL? She just smashes them out and off the park. No, I haven't. But it's interesting. I was having a conversation on Patreon just today about World Rugby's thing about not allowing, possibly not allowing, seemingly not going to allow trans athletes to compete in the in the women's game. So people transitioning from male to female won't be able to play with the women. So yeah, it seems to be pretty big news. April's surrounded by the countryside, which is always a good thing. 6'2" and 220 pounds. Holy moly. I'm 6'4". 220 pounds is like 100 kgs, right? That's pretty much my size. Bro, that's massive. Like, I looked up some of the lineup here. I think the biggest players are like 185 centimeters, which would be like, what, 6 foot? Is that about right? And I think the heaviest were like 80 something kilos. Oh man, this haka is. I remember this from the final. It's pretty intense. I've only ever seen this like a handful of times, so it's not like the haka it's not like kamate where I know most of the words. It goes on for quite a while as well. Far out. That's awesome. I love that. I love that indeed. Hey Sam, how's it going, buddy? Holy crap, that's unfair, says Chris. Yeah, that's huge in terms of size for the women's game. That's massive. For 30k subs, 2 cents is going to do a live stream himself doing a haka for 30 hours straight. Far out. I'd be lucky to do one. I would be lucky to do one. If you're going to do a haka, you got to do it properly. I'd have to learn like everything very correctly to even think about it. Novmum on the YouTube, we haven't kicked off yet. YouTube's tracker, I'm just coming up to 9 minutes. 8:57, 59, 8:59. Bang, I'm at 9 minutes. Hi Noah, how is it going? Finished your homework, man? I'm not sure, Chris, who was leading the haka. I'm not actually sure her name. Somebody let us know. It seemed to be kind of two people, actually. Mark should definitely do kamate if the ABs win the rugby championship. All right, I'm 20 seconds in. New Zealand are kicking early. No, I'm good, buddy. I just need to go get a filling on Friday because I had one fall out last week. Couldn't get an appointment until Friday. I guess the dentists are still backed up with lockdown work that didn't get done. Usually it doesn't take a week to get a dentist appointment. Whoa, plucked out of the air from Winniata. It's a bloody good kick. She didn't get much distance on that, but she cleared it. Sam is looking forward to that game against the Crusaders. The Hurricanes need to do everybody a favour and beat the Crusaders. Right, Black Ferns have got a chance in the 22. Looking good so far. Here's trouble. The Americans haven't even the ball yet. Look at that. How long did that take? 2 minutes. Women's rugby is so fast, says Chris. Yeah, man, it is. It's really, really quick. It's. I think that's why we why we enjoyed the last time we put this on so much. Wouldn't that open up the competition, Sam? Yes, it would. Everybody needs the Crusaders to have a loss. Did you see the response of South African rugby? Yeah, I did read it. It seemed a bit political, like in terms of basically being, bro, if you guys want to do your own thing, that's up to you, but it still has to be like a Sanzar executive decision, and that if anything happens, it'll just be the Kiwis alone. That's from what I read of it. Black Ferns pulling in England with that fast opener. Coxedge, oh, she's hit the post. Hell of a start, it's right. Seems to be less stuffing around at the breakdown comparison to the men's game. I remember that as well from when we watched the final, when it was Black Ferns England. There's really just a lot less faffing about, and it was a really good running game. It would have been interesting to see all the run meters and whatnot. It'd be more interesting if the Hurricanes win, but I'm biased as a Wellingtonian. I think everybody, apart from Crusaders fans, will be on the Canes fans for that one. By the way, this Budweiser I bought is like a 12 pack, so know me, if I only drink them on the streams, it could last me a while. Oh man, look at the fullback go. That being said, I'm probably going to have a few sneaky ones between streams as well. Oh, knocked it on. What are the Black Ferns going to do with the advantage? I kind of wanted to see a scrum, actually. Oh well, give it time. Advantage is over. We're not going to see that scrum. Like the American tight head doesn't look that big. Last year, 3 months. Yeah, pretty much. See the signing of South's player for 3 million. Yeah, man, tell us about that. That's madness. How's the Budweiser? It's okay. It's not a real strong taste. It's just, yeah, it's alright. I probably didn't put it in the fridge for long enough, but I was already like, man, it's cold. I don't need it to be ice cold. Maybe I should have. You could finish all 12 on the stream. It's up to you. 12 beers in one sitting? Probably not a good idea. Do you think the women's game is faster because they are lighter, smaller players and can't rely on physical aggression like men can? Interestingly, I kind of look at these games and it gives me the same kind of feeling to a degree as like the older men's games, like from like when we watched the '87 World Cup kind of thing. And in that time, the men's players were a lot smaller as well. You know, they were amateur guys. They didn't have the same bulk. They weren't training as much. The skill level is still there. Like, oh, here goes another try for the Black Ferns. No, just short. Like, I thought when I watched the '87 World Cup, I would be like, well, these guys were amateurs, so they won't have the same skills. But the skills were still there. There was still offloading. There were still some sick passes and steps and fens and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's not like the offload was only invented in recent years. But yeah, they didn't really have the kind of same bulk. So that might be part of it. They just, maybe just going the physical, like, brute force thing, maybe that's just not as popular a tactic in women's game. I don't know. Yeah, definitely in no position to comment on what the general thing is with the women's game, but yeah. The US fullback looks huge. She is tall. She would hopefully be pretty good under the high ball. Budweiser is okay, said no one ever. Oh, penalty at the breakdown for the States. Honestly, I'm not. You may have been aware by the fact that I'm drinking Budweiser, and I said it's okay. I'm not that much of a beer connoisseur. I don't really mind what I drink. Yeah. Same with like spirits. I'll drink like the house rum, and my mate who only drinks top shelf single malt whiskey, he looks at me like I'm a savage. Hi Ethan, how's it going, man? Chris, this is good rugby. You are correct, sir. Jeez, I swear that's the third time that bloody phone has run tonight. The US back three are big. Definitely have an athletics background. It does seem that way, eh? Oh, Black Ferns have been penalised again. Carling Black Label is a terrible beer. Wouldn't recommend. Oh, you make me want to try it when you say that, bro. Ethan's been good. That's good. I've been pretty good, man. Working. Same, same. That's blasphemy. Drink liters of that stuff as a student. As a student, probably tells you all you need to know. The Bunnies were signing him and he turned 17, 1.7 million. Rugby AU doubled it. Huge gamble. Where's all that money coming from? Yeah, like the broadcast deal that the Aussie Rugby signed is only worth like 10 million Aussie dollars for the year. So I don't know where the hell they're getting $3 million for one player from. Seems like madness. Here goes the fullback. Oh. Out on the full, not quite. No good can come from consuming Carling Black Label. Bro, the more you say that, the more I want to try it. It was cheap and available. Haven't had Black Label in a decade. Yeah, that was export gold for me when I was a kid. What kid? A teenager, young adult. And far out, still drink it for sometimes. Haven't heard of this deal, but it sounds silly as taking such a gamble. Yeah, basically some promising league player, I think Sam said he was 17, has been signed apparently on a $3 million deal. Teenager. $3 million Australian. And as I mentioned, their broadcast deal is worth a reported 10 million. So seems like utter madness. How many players have you seen that like at youth grade looked unbelievable and just ended up being like pretty good, okay, maybe not even that good. Some guys just don't develop that way. British Carling is okay. Canadian. Oh, British Carling is terrible. Canadian one is okay. Were we talking about Carling beer? Like the green one, isn't it like Danish? Poor kid will have so much expectations, can't see it working out. Yeah. I mean, I don't see that happening as much with rugby, but you notice if you follow any of the American sports, they have the draft, and whoever goes like number one in the draft always has a ton of pressure. And sometimes those guys, they don't always end up being fantastic. Often they do, but not always. Daramundi says, deal doesn't make much sense. Why would AIU sign him and not bother to invest that money into grassroots level and bring through young rugby union players? I think that is a very good question. They've got a long history of spending tons of money on league players, just not usually 17-year-old ones. It must be like Lomu. You'd hope so if he's getting paid that much at that age. Everyone says, I know nothing about beer, but I'm about to get Liam some nice whiskey to celebrate the move, probably Lagavulin. Lagavulin is one of those drinks that my top shelf mate likes, I think I mentioned before. Lagavulin and Lafroig, those are his two babies. He looks at me drinking Jack Daniels and goes, you're not my friend anymore. Way too many schoolboy players look good at schoolboy level, but you hit the big time in the average. Yeah. Look at Taniela Tupou. At schoolboy level, he could pretty much score tries for fun, man. He was called Tongan Thor for a reason because he was huge. But when he takes on guys more his size, like he's still really good. He's dynamic, but he's not just getting open field to run it, is he? Oh, Carling Black Label. Okay. Can't go wrong with Jameson's Select Reserve. I think I've mentioned before, my Aussie mate in China, big Waratahs fan, used to get me drinking way too much Jameson's. Oh, the Americans have been a lot better in the last kind of 5-10 minutes, eh? They're on the back foot early. Oh, great offload. What a try. Bro. That was a hell of a try. Like over the head pass. Knock on. What? Where? I missed it. Oh, maybe the second attempt? I just saw the release and regather, but then maybe, yeah, I don't know. The finish was great, though. What an offload. Hell yeah, man. That was like over the head, like basketball style. Penderin makes some good whiskies. I don't know that one. So got the distance. What's a kick? The US are in front. 7-0. Sorry, it wasn't a knock on. It did look like it briefly. Because she kind of had a second go at it, eh? What a pass, though. Quick release, yeah. It's Welsh. I don't know the Scottish ones. My mate, who's the top shelf drinker, his mum's Scottish, so he only drinks, like, yeah, single malt scotch, basically. Go the Canes, says Matt. Yeah, man. I don't have a jacket like this in blues colors, and I'm cold, so I'm in some nice warm Canes gear. What can I say? Whenever I try whiskey on the rocks, I shriek and can't imagine anyone doing it for fun. My mate, that guy, his name's Sean. He drinks it. He doesn't even drink it on the rocks. He just drinks it straight. Just sips it. And I'm there with my, like, I don't know, Captain Morgan and Coke. And like I say, he's just looking at me like, bro, I don't know you. Yeah. US fullback is causing havoc. She's dangerous, man. And she's big. I want to know how tall and heavy she is. And Big Will's already inhaled 2 Coronas. Bro, I'm still nursing this bud. Yeah, she's huge. Can somebody look up how tall she is? I don't actually know her name. I'm sure they've mentioned it a few times. They do single malts. Good, my mate would approve. Do you guys have Richelieu brandy? Brandy. I don't even think I've ever had brandy. Interesting that many of the Black Ferns are playing sevens as well. That is true as well. I guess because there's less opportunities for the Black Ferns players to get game time, so they probably benefit from having sevens, whereas there's so much men's games on that often you kind of think playing sevens can be detrimental to the way they play 15s, but they just need to get the women more games, eh? More 15s games, preferably for me, but I'll watch sevens if if it's a pinch. They only started getting paid for 15, so they had to play sevens before 2018 to earn money. That's probably even clearer than what I said. Brandy and Coke are like bread and butter in South Africa rugby culture, right up there with Castle. Really? Brandy and Coke? Why brandy? Okay. You guys have already got me to try, I think, a few things. I've tried Windhoek, I've tried Castle, I've tried Biltong. I want some Biltong right now. I feel like that Chinese has a word like the mouth feeling. What's the word for that in English? I got like a craving, I guess, but it's just my mouth wants some wants some biltong to chew. What is it? Is it because I'm watching rugby and drinking a beer? Wasn't that the same prop that scored 2 tries in the previous game? You might be right, man. It's been too long since I've seen it. What's the game time? I'm at 20 minutes and 45 seconds, man. Wikipedia says that she's 5'10". How heavy? Or does it not say? 5'10" is pretty tall. That's almost 6 foot. What's 5'10" in centimeters? Five, 10 in centimeters. 178. Oh, loose pass. Black Ferns have gone 9 phases there. That's a bit disappointing. Yeah, the stream is a bit. It says it's like HD. Maybe I should have looked on World Rugby site because it's a bit choppy on mine sometimes. But yeah, it's mostly pretty clear. Just every now and again it transitions with some funny colours. 79 kgs. Okay, that's among some of the heavier players. That's probably a bit more like it. There you go. Big tackles. 175 centimeters. Yeah, like I looked earlier, and from what I could see, the tallest players were like 185. So the fact that she's like 170, I made it to be like 177, 178. 5'10", it says 178 centimeters. Like she's among some of the taller players. And if she's 79 kgs, again, that's among one of the heaviest players. So she's big. .510 is tall for a woman, but short for a man. Is 5'10" really short for a man? I suppose. My wife's only 5 foot. That can't be true. 5 foot? No. That can't be right. Oh, 152 centimeters. Okay. That could be true. Inflation says I'm 5'10". Well, then apparently, according to Novmum, you're short, man. I believe the UFC is doing the right with the involvement of females. They think it's all the same, and because of the exposure, the females are now just a big draw. Oh, my husband is 6'2" and I'm 5'4". Okay. What is the UFC doing with females, Ruben? You might have to explain it. I'm not actually sure. I saw someone on Twitter saying that MMA allows trans fighters to fight women, or is that not correct? When I say women, I mean cis women. My missus is 5'2" and I'm 5'10" as well. Man, well, Nov Mum has just called both of you guys short. How tall is my missus? She's I have to find out. 167 in feet. Yeah, my missus is 5'7". Google Fallon Fox. He broke a woman's skull. Bloody hell. My 12-year-old takes delight about being 2 centimeters shorter than you. Is your 12-year-old a boy or a girl? Please don't call us cis mark, just woman. You gotta be so careful with the language these days, eh? It isn't a niche. They put it on the same cards and give the same amount of marketing. Whoa, Porsha Woodman, holy moly. Bruh. She is amazing. My dad was 6 foot and devastated. I never got bigger than him. Well, height-wise, but you're bigger in the shoulders. Man, beat three tacklers and a step of a fourth, bro. Too crazy. That's almost unfair. Man, she's good. Hey, Bully Ball, how's it going? You still haven't changed that picture. They give the same marketing to the ladies, and now they draw as much attention and grew much faster than other women's sports. Right, so I know women's in MMA is, yeah, it's pretty big. I've seen at least, what was that previous champion who got knocked out a couple of times. But do they allow transgender women to fight as well in UFC? Big Will says Porsha Woodman in the house. I'm gonna have to open my second beer because of that, man. Thank you, sir. Check that one. Porsha Woodman in the house is right. Thank you, sir. I might have to get me some more beer. I feel like I'm going to drink faster in this stream. So I think there's an interest in women's sports. I never actually found men resistant to watching it. I just need exposure and investment. I agree. Skill and pace. Yeah, that's the thing. When you watch this, the skills are there. The pace is there. What's not to like, eh? Change it to, I don't know, Bowden Barrett in a Blues jersey. Just googled the average New Zealand male is 177, 5'9", so you would be the above average in New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand's not a very tall country, to be honest. Like, I'm 6'4", and I feel tall. I feel massive. I know I'm not tall like Brody Retallick, Sam Whitelock tall. Those guys are like 6'6". They would tower over me and be a lot broader, but yeah, at 6'4", I feel pretty tall. I was the tallest kid in my year, pretty much every year I went to school. Holy crap, here goes that fullback again. Bro, what a tackle. Was that Winiata? Oh my days, what a tackle. She's got a big size disadvantage there, but she hung on for dear life. Man, she was going for it. I'll try not to drink too much, Bully Ball. Ronda Rousey and no trans women aren't allowed in the UFC. Maybe some low-level MMA promotions. Right, okay. I just saw on Twitter someone said that in the MMA they allow trans women to fight. But I guess MMA is pretty vast, whereas UFC is a specific competition. The skills and passions there in women's rugby, enjoyment of watching it, and what a tackle. Yeah. She had the Jonah stride going. Yeah. I am getting through the buds. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're just smooth to drink. That was a huge tackle. That was a try saver for sure. And like I said, she's got a bit of a size disadvantage, so that was really well done. Because that was full flight. There's a persistent myth about male sports fans being sexist and not into women's rugby or sport, but I think they're just good, fair sport. Yeah, maybe some of that comes from the media. I don't know, eh? I would say that would be a kind of standard media narrative that nobody wants to watch women's sports, so let's not put it on. But no, man, I'm enjoying it. There's a shirt obstructing a flag in the top left corner that needs sorting out ASAP. All right. Just for you, Joe, I'm going to stand up and move from the floor to move this Bulls jersey. There you go. Look at that beauty. When are you guys getting back into action, Joe? I hear they've got some dates sorted for that Saracens game in the Champions Cup. There's a Welsh women's team with a male trans. And the injured woman every training session breaking the coach's ankle. Yeah, big difference. I've been schooled by women judoka plenty of times. Ronda Rousey was a judo player before she left the UFC and then WWE. Yeah, man. I wouldn't want to tackle that American fullback. Holy moly, I'm 6'4". I would have the size and weight on her, but bro, she's moving. Don't move the Bulls, us. Sorry, Ruben, I can't win. A few weeks to go and it's action stations. Good news. All behind closed doors, I take it. Dominic says, agree, most guys I know enjoy women's sports. Yeah, but it seems to only really be women's individual sports that get that attention, eh? Like tennis, golf. Those are the two big main ones, eh? If like you wanted to make money in women's sports, those would be the two that you would go for. I'm sure there's something else I'm missing. I just realized there's no green screen. Yeah, I've been saving the green screen for the actual live games. Big Will, newborn maggot keeps me occupied and studying for a degree in European law. Holy man, Joe, you are busy. Sam, did I see about the stuff in the Southern Cup at the breakdown? On the breakdown? No, I haven't seen this week's episode of the breakdown. Is it worth watching? And Joe Lyons, I feel for you if you've really got a newborn, bro. My brother has also got a newborn, and I held my nephew, and I was very glad I do not have a newborn anymore. A 2-year-old is bad enough. She woke me up at 2 o'clock last night saying, Dada, I want to get into your bed. And I was like, no, you're not getting in my bed. Netball, that's right, netball, but they don't get paid bugger all netball. Netball's terrible for pay. They have to compare like for like. Women rugby players compared to male rugby players, massive difference, pound for pound, men's muscle is stronger. Showed that at the Rugby World Summit. I think the entertainment value on the games is the same though. That's one thing you can't deny. Oh man, New Zealand getting penalised, eh? They want to play the game at pace, that's for sure. He's already a season ticket holder for Length, the priorities. Nice. Start him young. Damn work interrupting your rugby. I feel you, Grant. It's always the MLR games that would get interrupted for me when I'd be watching rugby. I mean, to be honest, it would be like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I should be working, but the MLR was on, and I wanted to watch it. It got a bit hard. I think I've decided if the MLR season gets underway next year, I will I'll go book a meeting room by myself and just put myself on like reporting duties to say I need to get out of the office to avoid distractions. So yeah. It was a pool competition with AU, NZ, and the top Japanese. Oh, okay. I think I have read something about that. About some Japanese executive who wants to see the Japanese teams involved there. I looked at that news, if it's the one I'm thinking of, and kind of thought, meh, that seems like a bit of a speculation one more than anything concrete. I don't believe you're 6'4". Get a tape measure. I saw you at the Blues game and you looked about 6'1", 6'2". You must have not stood right next to me, bro. I'm 6'4". Maybe like 6'3 and a half. If you go to centimeters, I think it's 194. Check whatever 194 is in feet. I'm that tall. They'll fit these women. The pace is fantastic. I couldn't believe the Americans didn't stop for that last play. They just kept going. They just kept running it. They wanted to take it quickly. I was like, man, like take a minute breather, kick the ball out, and take a line out. Why do you want to keep running? Anyway, I think the biggest problem for parity is money. Male professionals will always be resistant to women getting more. There seems to be, I don't know, a limit to how much they're willing to spread around, but they do say they're trying to grow the game. Great news, Dan Levy is full training with Leinster. We've got another world-class player going to be tough. He's been out for ages, hasn't he? How long has it been since he's played? It must be close to a year. Is it like 9 months? Or am I exaggerating? Is it 6 months? Feels like ages. How are the US women rated overall? I think they're pretty good, right? The US women's team is one of the better teams. England, France, New Zealand, USA. Is that fair? Seems like every day there's a new speculation story floating around. I'm trying to do less of the speculation stories, man. There's literally just too many of them. I'm trying to wait for more concrete news. 12 months. Okay, I felt like it was a year. That makes sense. Jeez, it was a long time. Feeling Gaza Defo thought you were the next ABC Camaro when you were young. I don't think so for two reasons. One, we were skinny. My brother's taller than me, very skinny as youngsters. And two, my mum was like, nah, these skinny kids aren't playing rugby. She sent us to soccer or football if you want to be more consistent with the rest of the world. 194 is 6 feet 4.3. There you go. I am 6'4". I'm close to 6'5". Here we go. They got numbers 1-on-1. They have to score. Come on. She's got a release. She should be penalised, and she is. That was a little bit cynical from the Black Ferns there. They needed quick ball, the Americans, but they didn't get it. Is that a try or did they knock it on? Is that a penalty try? No. It was knocked on. Okay. I thought there was a knock on. But man, that was a pretty cynical penalty. Got to let that ball go. The Americans just needed quick ball. Just looked it up, and USA ranked 7 on the world rankings. Okay, interesting. Who are the other top women's teams? I know Black Ferns, England, France. Who are the others? Oh, bro. Heartbreak for the Americans there. They've just given the Black Ferns back the ball. They needed to move it wide earlier. Yeah, true. But I mean, I guess good teams know when to give away those cynical ones, eh? This is part of the game. Holy, the bumps off. Bump offs. I swear I'm only on my second beer. Only a minute left. Canada are up there. Okay. I don't know that I've ever seen much about the Canadian women's team. charged down. France, England, Ferns, and America, they are way ahead of everyone. Okay, that's what I thought as well, Joe. Canada women also very good. They are top 10. Says Otto. Good. Spain are 10th. Okay. That New Zealand fly half is damn good. And what a run by the 10. Yeah, sorry, what's her name? Oh, Sabritsky Nafataki. She's the one who scored the try earlier. Man, she's bumping people off like madness. Bro. I mean, I guess it was a halfback that she bumped off, but still. Sabritsky Nafatali. 5 defenders beaten, about 3 of them just then. Well, that pass was 4 by a mile. That's going to be half time. I think South Africa has one professional women's player. She is the captain and plays her footy in that hotbed of rugby, Spain. Yeah, what's the deal with the women's game in South Africa not being big? Is it just all the young girls kind of play netball, or? Like, it's a really fast growing game over here. Brilliant first half. That was crazy. I still think my favourite moment is that Winiata tackle on the American fullback. That was a great tackle. Netball or hockey? Okay, as in field hockey. Most young girls seem to do field hockey in South Africa. Says Ruben, makes sense. England invest more in women's team by tenfold than Ireland, and we spend quite a bit. The elite women's team are 100% professional, some serious athletes. That's the number one step, eh? If you really want to get top class players, they need to be doing the sport as their full-time job. That's basically it. As soon as you're getting paid to play that sport, the people are going to get a ton better than if they're part-time, builders or something. Not really promoted at school levels in South Africa. Netball and field hockey more popular. That'd be traditionally true in New Zealand as well. Netball is definitely the biggest women's sport. I think it's getting more popular here in New Zealand now that some of the girls have, getting some coin for doing it. There's also still the butch stigma about being a women's rugby player in South Africa. Yeah, I would guess the same is probably true here, but then you see someone like, oh man, Kendra Coxedge for the Black Ferns, their halfback. And like, she's not butch, but she's skilled as, so any girl should be able to look up to her. Not enough funding from the government. In Ireland, we took loads of players from GAA, but we put them into our 15 and moved them to sevens. As there was more money in the game, it decimated the 15s game and was done 1 month before the World Cup. Oh man, that's terrible. Rugby still isn't really offered at girls' schools, even in England. My daughter's school didn't, even though the boys. It's a major rugby school. The girls got lacrosse. Did you say that Liam Messam has returned to Waikato? I saw a thing on Twitter with his picture. Is that what that was about? I didn't even read it. Is he actually coming back to the Waikato? My daughter did play football from the age of 7. She took a break. Yeah, I have to say I don't miss having to get up early on a winter and Saturday morning. That is true. I never wanted to get up to go to play my winter sports because my bed was so comfortable, but I still got up. He signed for Waikato. Man, that's amazing. South African public still needs to get used to seeing women as such a physical sport. We can be a bit slow at the uptake sometimes. Yeah, it might just take time, man. There's probably a few factors at work there: cultural factors, economic factors, lots of stuff. Oh, what a line out steal from the Black Ferns. There's a golden opportunity. They got to score here, surely. Who's watching the lacrosse game? Not I. Another forward pass? Oh, no advantage. Lacrosse is just as physical as rugby, though. I have heard lacrosse is pretty rough. Like, isn't that quite big in, like, Canada? Grant had to Google lacrosse. I've never seen it being played, but I'm pretty sure they wear helmets and it's pretty brutal. Oh, big scrum, but no. Americans still got the ball back. I watched one male on the TV in a bar in the States where it's very fast and physical. Okay. It's weird how some sports just don't seem to get that popular, eh? Lacrosse. When I think lacrosse, I'm thinking it's mostly like a school sport. Does anyone play lacrosse outside school level? Extra meter, and she was in there. Waka. Oh, the line out was a bit messy. Oh, she didn't get much distance with that kick. The Black Ferns have got another chance. Man, how have they not scored? What's the second most popular sport in New Zealand after rugby? Is it cricket? Traditionally, yeah. Number one sport in New Zealand is rugby. Number two sport in New Zealand is cricket. The summer one and the winter one. But I haven't actually seen the full participation numbers to see what the numbers are like for cricket. Cricket is one of the ones that's on the decline, as far as I'm aware. Whereas basketball, I think, is one of the big growers over here. In the college and states, it's a huge college sport, money and crowd wise over there. But then what about after college? Can you play lacrosse as an adult? Sailing. That's true. We do have some bloody good sailors, but again, sailing is kind of a rich person sport. Like, if you can afford a boat, you head into the Blues game this Sunday. I'm actually thinking of going to club rugby instead if the weather is okay. I'm thinking of going to club rugby. I know I could do both, But in terms of not having to look after children, I don't think I can kind of cash 2 checks in 1 week, if you know what I mean. I probably got to pick one. And I haven't been to club rugby for a bloody long time. So I'm thinking to go to some club rugby. I'm a rugby and cricket man, simple. I'll watch the NRL, but mainly to annoy friends. I've always liked cricket, but don't have the time to watch it now. Yeah. Oh, is that... Bro. I thought I heard the ref blowing something up, but now it looks like she's... Is she going to TMO that? Or is she all good? Looks all good. That's Woodman's try, but man, Winiata had a big hand in that one. Big run. Kick through is perfect. Winiata gets it, can't quite make it. Offload, boomfa. Try time. Cricket is such a snooze fest. Feels like I'm watching golf. What club rugby, man? I love watching club footy on a grass bank with a pie and a beer. Yeah, pretty much that, bro. Just club rugby. So the level below Mitre 10 Cup, essentially. Amateur stuff. So over here, it's in Auckland, it's the likes of Ponsonby, Marist, University, College Rifles, Monaco, I think Papatoi. These are like some of the big Waitemata. Like these are all the club teams. Oh, she's missed another one. 20 points to 7. I used to play cricket quite a lot actually, so I don't mind cricket, but I can't really watch it anymore. I used to be, as a child, I would say I was even between watching rugby and cricket, but maybe even more cricket when I used to play it because I was okay at cricket, but yeah, I kind of lost touch with it. Rust is Marist. Go Marist. Everywhere has a bloody Marist. If you go like that's just the Auckland competition. If you go outside of Auckland, every other regional competition seems to have their own Marist. Do you have club players who actually make it professionally in New Zealand? Yeah, I would say it's probably not the main route. Most of the guys go through the academy system and get picked up, but some of them they play club rugby and get picked up. I mean, I've seen Ofatuanga play club rugby, and he's an All Black. But I think that was more he was sent to play club rugby to get a bit more game time. Um, oh man, what's that guy who played for the Chiefs? My dad would always rave about him, midfielder. He played club rugby for my dad's club that my dad follows. But yeah, it does happen. It does happen. But you kind of expect it to get in through the academy system rather than club rugby. But yeah, it can happen. I think the Chiefs, not the Chiefs, the Crusaders backup hooker, Makaleo, I don't think he made it to an academy system, so he went to play club rugby. So yeah, for the guys who do keep at it, there's certainly an opportunity. 86 Marist clubs in New Zealand. Holy hell. That is a lot. Also a bunch of Harlequins clubs. That's true too. I can sit and watch cricket all day long, says Big Will. The good thing about cricket is if you want to have a few beers, you can have a lot of beers while watching some cricket, man. And a barbecue and stuff. And cricket's kind of like you can go and cook on the barbecue and come back and you still have only like you've only missed a few overs, but rugby you can't do that so much because it's a much shorter game. Otto says, it's weird, I like rugby more than cricket, but I play cricket instead of rugby. I was exactly the same, man. I was exactly the same. The only guy who made professionally in South Africa who I know of is Garth April. Okay. I was in rest with Ponja Kriya. Very nice guy, but he's huge, I can imagine. Well, I'm not sure about South Africa, but all of the guys who played for the All Blacks back in like the 80s and early 90s used to play club rugby pretty often. It was a huge event. But with the inception of Super Rugby, nobody had time to play club rugby anymore. Man, action area second half. The Americans just haven't had any ball in the Black Ferns half. It's been dominant, but they've not conceded a lot of points, so it was much different in the amateur area of South Africa. Also, yeah, virtually nobody plays club rugby anymore. Like I said, unless you're coming back from injury and being sent down to like get some more match fitness kind of thing, like Dan Carter did the other week, you're probably not playing club rugby. Limited overs can be great, but a test can be a bit laborious. I think even more so, the thing about a test match is you can really go away and do something else entirely and come back a long time later and still be part of the game. Jeff Wilson played for the ABs and the Black Caps. Yes, I saw him play for the Black Caps at Eden Park actually after he finished his rugby career. He was alright. Grant's still playing cricket on pitches that don't sound that ideal. That's one of the things I remember playing with my dad actually more is cricket. We used to just go up to the park and just have a tree. That was the wickets. And just bowl to a tree with a cricket bat. Played some club rugby, but South Africa club rugby has more punches than passes. That doesn't sound ideal. Club rugby over here struggles a bit, at least in Auckland. I'm not sure about the rest of the country, but some of the teams can hardly field enough players for a team. The top clubs are like really strong, but the bottom clubs are not very good. They get hammered by 50 points at least. I honestly think at 6'4" I could probably get onto some of the club teams here if I improved my fitness, even despite my age. Penalty, so it's 23-7. The Black Ferns are looking pretty comfortable, man. The Americans have not had any ball in the Black Ferns half this second half. People who can't tackle play cricket. My cricket team was filled with first 15 guys, actually, when I played at the high school. And those guys could tackle, but they were just bored in summer, didn't have anything else to do, so they played cricket. Don't you think it's weird the Lions won't be playing the British and Irish Lions next year? That does seem like a pretty big omission, but in 2009 they did play the Golden Lions, so maybe that's fair. Can't really play rugby at your local park because not many people know how to play. Give them a bat, ball, and wickets, and you have a game. Yeah, that's true. The best you can organise is touch, and you need a fair few people to kind of get a game going. Just noticed the Black Ferns don't use the normal positions, i.e. scrum half is taking the penalty while most of the time it's the fullback as the backup kicker. Well, wasn't the American like inside centre taking their goal kicks? Yeah, it seems to be a thing, eh? I learned more playing club rugby than in my later career playing as a 19-year-old against grizzly old people that knew every trick in the book. Was like a baptism of fire, but great learning experience. True. Yeah, guys who've been around the block will certainly teach you. If they allow bull rush, that would be New Zealand's second most popular sport. I used to like bull rush actually, even though I was pretty skinny. I was not bad at bull rush. Sometimes you get smashed, but that's all part of the fun. Oh, here we go. Oh, nah. Into touch. Where do you get all of your supporters gear? I don't have any one particular place I get it. Uh, like this jacket I bought at Champions of the World, which is a store here in New Zealand, but they were having a end of line sale. Lovell Rugby is a pretty good one. They're based in the UK. They've got a lot of stuff on sale. Basically, whatever's on sale, man. I don't buy anything full price. And some on second hand. I bought stuff from eBay and Trade Me second hand. Oh my god, no way is she going to score. She's not got the gas. She's not got the gas. Bro! How the hell did she do that? She didn't look like she had enough pace. What a fend at the end. Goodness me. They've had no time in the Black Ferns half. What a try from Kelter. She was outpaced. Man. Little offload and she put the hammer down. Oh, man. Found myself at the base of a ruck holding onto the ball. Mick Halpin rested on me and whispered in my ear, "Let it go or I'll bite." I dropped the ball faster than a bun from the oven. And Chris says massive try. Yeah, in terms of the game, that try was bloody important. And Big Will says, "What a try! Hell yeah, hell yeah!" That's as good as the other try, like the Woodman one. I think honestly, how did she keep those tacklers at bay? And she's got to take the goal kick after being shattered. Thank you, Big Will. April says, my cat TJ has been hiding for 4 days since moving. Rugby has brought him out. He's finally on my lap. The familiar sound of rugby in my voice. I hope the cat is starting to settle in. I know it can be pretty tough on pets when they have to move house, eh? Helter Kelter. I see what you did there, Russ. It was a good try. Yeah, it was a good try, man. I don't think she had the wheels, eh? But like the commentators just said, they weren't sure which of those defenders was going to take the tackle. Maybe that's true. And the nice wee fend. Bloody good. And puts the Americans back within touching distance as well. So, yeah. Good try in terms of the game. Flesh and Ice, what's Bull Rush? It's kind of just a tackling game with no ball. Like essentially, there's a line of people and a tackler. This is the way we played it at my school. One tackler and a line of people, and these people have to get from this line to this line. Maybe it's like 50 meters. They have to run, and then the tackler will inevitably tackle one of those people, and then the next time there'll be two tacklers because the person who got tackled now becomes a tackler, and then that line of people has to run again, and then maybe two people get tackled, so you got four tacklers, so the numbers kind of change. So if you're that last person, you got to try and run through a whole line of every other person. So yeah, it gets pretty brutal. Oh, you call it bulldog? Okay, exactly the same as open gate in South Africa. Sounds like okay. Sounds like that's a pretty universal game. Yeah. Is it like Red Rover? Man, everyone's got a different name from it. South Africa, Ireland, Wales. Everyone's got a different name for it. Bro, here goes Woodman. Another one. That's a hat trick. Man, she is quick. That's is that her easiest one? Man, she's good. Cox Edge with that huge pass, and whoever the inside center is for the Black Ferns, I don't know her name. She knew to just quickly pass it through. She didn't want to hang on to the ball because she was taken. And then Woodman, yeah, inside step, bro, she's good. Favorite Super Rugby team is the Blues, unfortunately. Cox Edge is such a good little player. I've said it before, man. If Cox Edge was a dude, I know she's missed a few goal kicks in this one, but honestly, she'd be one of the highest paid. She's bloody good. Everything is banned on school playgrounds nowadays. Oh, she's missed that one as well. Yeah, they do ban a lot of the stuff that used to be around when I was a kid, that's for sure. Should make a video of South African Super Rugby that's on the rise. There's going to be 8 teams that contest. Has that been confirmed or is that just still being speculated? Cox Edge is Big Will's favourite female player. Yeah, she is. I mean, she goal kicks usually better than this. She distributes. I've seen her score tries. Some called it Marwolith in Wales when I was a kid. Literally translates directly to death. Yeah. There was a certain. I guess every place has got a different feeling for it, but like, if one of your mates at lunchtime said, "You want to play Bull Rush?" it meant like, bro, it's on. And some people would be like, "No, I don't want to play Bull Rush. I don't want to get hurt today." So, yeah. I like Bull Rush. Oh, it looked a bit of a high tackle. Coxedge retired recently. Did she? I know she's like 32. I hadn't read that she'd retired, but I would stand to be corrected for sure. Just think most of these women had a full paid job at this time. Yeah, exactly right. That's kind of what I meant when I said like reminiscent of the '87 World Cup. Hey, like it's quick and it's amateur. So imagine what these guys can do if we get them all pro. Sininobu has so much skill she could play for the men's team. Phenomenal athlete, wonderful ambassador. Are they going back for that high one? Thelma Seeley is my favourite. She was the most successful rugby captain, was a police officer at the same time, retired at 38. Yeah, she's the one I looked up earlier today, and just to compare the weights like between her and Dane Coles, when we were talking about that transgender thing, like she is a lot. I mean, she's big. You look at Thelma Seeley in the field, she's huge, but like she's a ton smaller than Dane Coles. It just makes sense. She could be in trouble for that one. We played bull rush on a netball court at Mangere College. Bro, seriously? You MC guys are nuts. At least we play bull rush on the field. I think we have to give the ref a bit of due here. She's let the game flow. That is true. I think this is the first real main stoppage. Everything else she's been kind of pretty happy to call it. We don't usually give refs credit though. We only give them grief if they are having a negative impact on the game. If they're good, we usually just let it go. Didn't want to get dirty on the field. True enough. You MC guys are nutters. You have grass fields there too. Yeah. Yellow card. Yes. Sounds like it. What's the time in New Zealand? It is 9:55 in the evening. So my kids are well asleep. They're being good, not waking up, which is good. Do you play video games other than rugby? I used to play a lot, man, but I don't have that much time to play video games anymore. I spend a lot of my free time doing rugby stuff. But yeah. I used to be quite into Mass Effect, and then it ended up being a bit crap at the end. Speaking of refs, what's your opinion on that decision at the end of the third Lions test? As a Kiwi, I was like, that's nonsense. You can't just overrule that, but the fact that that test series was a draw was a pretty bloody awesome result for the Lions. To organise a team like that on that kind of notice, which is relatively short, and get a result. Time to pull the bins out. I wouldn't do that to my neighbours. Not this time of night. The neighbours have got kids as well. Good line out from the States. Pass above the head, well taken. Did you read Dr. Bloomfield playing rugby, I think, this weekend? Yeah. He doesn't seem like he's the rugby playing type, does he? Kind of skinny, short white guy with glasses. A doctor, no less. Very well spoken. But that's cool. I think I'm old enough now to play President's Rugby if I wanted to play, but I do not have the fitness at all. Bro, Coxhead's just got bumped off. Man, the Americans could definitely use a score here. So gets a result in South Africa, the best Lions coach of all time. Did you put that a comment on a video, didn't you? I didn't reply to the comments in the last video yet. Maybe, man. Maybe. Win in Australia, draw in New Zealand. Can you imagine if he got a result in South Africa? That'd be pretty bloody good. I have no real neighbours now, so it's quiet. I can put your bins out anytime. That is, yeah, I'm not in that position at all. Is there any way for us to follow the game we're watching? Because I don't really get how we're supposed to watch. We're not seeing what's happening. I think, I don't know how other people are doing it. Most have like a TV and or a computer and a phone, I guess. Like I have TV and you guys. He'd be unbeaten in all three countries. Yeah, that would be pretty monumentous. Because I think after when they got to Australia in 2013, they were even talking about, man, do we even need Lions tours anymore? Because they'd lost in South Africa 09, they'd got a hiding in New Zealand 05, and it was like, man, if you guys can't get a win, what's the point? Sure enough, they did. Gatland appears more popular in New Zealand than he is here in Britain. Is he not popular outside of Wales? I have a smart TV to watch the game and I post messages via my phone. Yeah. Two monitor plan. Yeah, if I was at work, I'd be on the two monitor plan. Ruby Tui plays 15s, I'm sure. I think she was injured for this. The Chiefs continue as they have. They may change their mind about Gatland being coach. I think that contract is already signed, eh? I think that's already set in stone. Oh, what a bounce. Come on, but then big tackle. Oh, man, if the Americans concede while they've got a player advantage, that's going to be brutal. The team won in spite of Gatland rather than for him. Is it that bad? What up, bruv? What is up? "69 minutes, 25 seconds. And somehow it's the States who are needing to exit from their own goal line, even with a player up. He's very unpopular. Ireland sacked him as coach, so he's anti-Irish. He dropped Brian O'Driscoll for the Lions, so he's hated there. Right, so he's not popular in Ireland. He tore the heart out of the Lions' ethos and spirit with his treatment of the shirt. Never has there been a more divisive manager. Joe's Irish. Apart from the Irish not liking him, and the Scottish probably not liking him because he never selects Scottish players, what do the English think of him? Hoping the Chiefs get a win this weekend. Sorry, 2 cents. I got to cheer for the Chiefs this weekend. I will cheer for the Blues when they play the Crusaders. It was funny because I was talking to Gaza, and he said, while my mum was around, he said, it would be funny if the Chiefs came up and beat the Blues, wouldn't it? Ha ha ha. My mum was like, no, it wouldn't. The English hate him too. Only the Welsh lads love him. What's Joe Schmidt up to nowadays? Yeah, didn't he wanted to take a break to do family stuff, right? England dislike him. We respect his record at Wales, but his Lions selection policy is Welsh biased. He and Eddie Jones don't have the best relationship either, eh? They throw a few barbs at each other. The Blues will roll the Chiefs, says Big Will. What if they select Plummer at 12? He was looking after his mum. Didn't his mum pass away, though? I remember that's why he kind of wanted to take a break to really do the family time thing. Skets is struggling a bit this season, that's for sure. Oh, man. Woodman just burned that fullback. That's embarrassing. That's just like last week's one with Bowden Barrett, right? Just burned on the outside. Man, that's incredible. Good pass, good cut out pass, and then she puts it down, and then just voomfa, she's gone. In a flash, she's just gone. 4 tries. She is next level, is no joke. Big Will says Porsha Woodman is stunning. Again, man. Imagine if she was playing men's. How well known would she be? Honestly, she's bloody amazing. Thank you, sir. Also, his little boy, this is speaking of Joe Schmidt, has specialist needs, and he wants to concentrate on fair play. He always wants to have a home place in Ireland. Yeah, he seems like a top bloke in terms of his his personality and whatnot. The way Lamapi rounded Bodie was quite insane. I guess he got inspiration from Woodman. Same move, man. Burn on the outside. Is Carter going to play on the weekend? I think we're still waiting to hear what the Blues lineup is going to be. But they wanted to play him last week, but he's got a calf injury. So how long does it take a 38-year-old's calf to heal? Probably a bit longer. Maybe not. Don't know. That's also brutal because the Americans there, when they conceded that try, had an extra player. So that's pretty tough. I love the feeling showed from Nani towards the haters last week. He should be... But we should start hating on Bodie. Yeah, he's done... Oh, man. They just dropped it clean. And then they're playing advantage. What happened there? Bro, are you serious? Is that going to be a try? If that's a try, that's just suicidal stuff from the Americans. Bodie looked genuinely surprised when Lamapi went on the outside. And it's so... I watched it back like 5 times. It's such a short amount of time that, like, the decision is, like, they make eye contact and then boom, he's gone. It's so... Ooh, I don't know you can give that. They're Lamapi haters. It's just some people weren't convinced of his abilities. He showed them, and that's great. I think it might be some of the writers, like from the Herald and stuff, who you shouldn't read anyway, like Chris Ritu and whatnot. The same guy who said Richie needs to be dropped, Dan Carter needs to be dropped. Like, I'm assuming. I don't really read them, so yeah. She butchered that one, I think. April says no try. Yeah, on the replay, it doesn't look like you could give that one. But man, the Americans got out of jail there. You can't just faff about deciding who should have caught it. You need to keep playing. At least get the pick up the ball. You can't just stop, man. That's madness. That post-match interview with Lamape was a bit strange, as he get a lot of criticism in New Zealand. He gets criticised for not for being very one-dimensional. Yeah, but I don't think he's like of all the players in New Zealand. I don't think he doesn't have it as bad as Geordie Barrett. Geordie Barrett gets it a lot more. So yeah, I don't know. Don't think he does, says April. Yeah, I don't think he's not up there in guys who get stick. Geordie Barrett gets a lot because he's had quite a few clangers, and people compare him to his brother. They say he shouldn't have got the spot in the All Blacks as young as he did, and all that kind of stuff. Sam Cane's getting a lot more. So Lamapi's just kind of generally been seen as being unlucky and maybe one dimensional at worst. Alright, Otto, enjoy your Minecraft and your breakfast. I think Lamapi's improved because of his criticism. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be a try. That was a walkover, wasn't it? Man, what's she doing out there on the wing? Bro. Great try. Hook her out on the wing. She took it. She had the step. She got the try. That poor hooker was like a deer caught in the headlights. I wonder what she's thinking as that cross kick's coming in. Like, don't let me drop it. Don't let me drop it. Or is she legit thinking, I've got this. I got to score a try. I don't know. Front row on the wing getting a cross kick. Jeez. Madness. US players look tired. You could be right, man. The yellow card doesn't seem to have done them any good, eh? They should be stepping it up, but nah. Lamape is the best 12 in New Zealand at the moment. Yeah, and I think April said that he's improved because of his critics. I think so as well. He's been putting in more tackles, and I think his work rate and distribution have improved. It's not every game, but some games you'll see him kick a lot. Some games you see him make a ton of tackles. That's what he needs. Lamape would be worth a fair bit in France. Got to wonder how long he gives it until he goes. I don't know how long his contract is for. Exactly. Catch the ball, catch the ball, catch the ball. Yeah. In my opinion, DMAC is greater than Geordie. Geordie is greater than Bodie, and Good Hughes greater than Lamape and greater than ALB. Is that the way I'm reading it, or is it the other way around? That is the way, isn't it? Will Jordan is ahead of all of them. Will Jordan's amazing, man. I think he has to get an All Blacks jersey if he can stay fit. At least put him in the squad. Oh man, Brazier. That's too easy. That try is soft, man. This is getting embarrassing now. That was terrible. Are there still big contracts for Kiwis in France right now? People keep signing. Like Cobus van Vyk has decided to leave the Canes to go to England. I know it's not France, but yeah, there seem to be still big contracts going. I don't know if they're big contracts, but at least more than what they're worth in New Zealand. I think the Americans' heads are probably a bit down here. And yes, it was Bodie that got burnt and not Geordie. Geordie and Nani play on the same team. DMAC isn't great anymore. I think I'm the only one to think he was a bit of a phase. I just don't feel it anymore. He has not been having his best season, bro. He's been quiet in Super Rugby Aotearoa. Yeah, that was magic. But I think the US ladies are looking a bit out of sorts. What happened to Havili? He's injured, out for the season. Likewise, Ethan Blackadder. He's got really bad luck, that guy. What would I guess Corbus was getting paid at the Canes? I don't know. Maybe 100 grand? I don't know how much Super Rugby players get paid. I think the minimum is like 50 something. I think the top you can get paid is like, is it 250? It's been so long since I've looked at it. So much responsibility on him for the Rugby World Cup was a bad idea. They did seem to have a lot of pressure on him. Only recently, because of your channel, started watching your Super Rugby. Lamapi looks world class, as good as Tuilangi, and I find it impossible to think he didn't make your World Cup squad. Interesting point, David, mate, because yeah, last season he was all about tries. He didn't have bugger all try assists. His tackle stats weren't great, but bro, could he score tries like mad? Whereas Ryan Crotty was like really defensively good, lots of line break assists and all that kind of stuff. So, but still, he was definitely a big strike weapon that they opted not to go for. So, yeah. Has there been any stories about the French coaches and training by ex-Kiwi players? I must have missed that one. Where's Ryan Crotty? I think he went to Japan from memory. Will DC run out for the Blues at least once if he can get his calf healed? I think so. By the way, on the stream, we're into the last 10 seconds. 45 points off. This is a proper hiding now, man. Second half has been, apart from that like brilliant moment try from the Americans, it's been utterly one-sided. Maybe it's the fitness, I don't know, but the Black Ferns have been so good in the second half. Lamape is a bit like Hugh Jones in Scotland, criticised all the time and not selected for the squad despite being the most dangerous player. There you go. It's probably a fair equivalent, mate. And that's it. 4 tries for Woodman. Some proper good tries in that game, man. That was class. April says US couldn't keep up for the whole game. They did well in the first half, I thought. I thought that was a pretty good contest, but the second half, that was one-sided, man. The Black Ferns just way too good. But yeah, it was certainly a fun game to watch. Heap of skills. I think Coxedge will be disappointed with her goal kicking, but you can't complain about the tries, man. So, yeah. And that's it. It is done. Yeah. That was excellent. So, William's going to go pretend to work. Her best try was that American try. That one, I didn't think she looked like she was going to get there, man. But, yeah, she did. So, good stuff. Good stuff. Nah, April, I thought this was it was my discussion with April earlier offline that I thought about doing another women's game because we hadn't done one for a while, and I think that was well worth the entertainment. So yeah, definitely a bit of fun. We got Super Rugby this weekend, so I might see some of you guys again for the streams on the weekend. I'm probably going to head out to some club rugby and see if I can grab some footage and stuff while I'm there as well, depending on how the weather is. If it's piddling down, I probably won't take the camera. But, yeah, otherwise, maybe next Wednesday as well, we can watch something, see how it goes. Wednesday games are always a bit of fun. So, yeah, you guys all take care. Have a good night. I'm going to go get ready for bed. Got work tomorrow. So, yeah, stay safe. Wherever you're at, remember to keep washing your hands and not touching your face. That still needs to be a thing. And yeah, see you guys at the weekend. Cheers, Leo, Flesh, Big Will, Grant, April, Chris, David, everybody. Yeah, I'll see you guys again for the next one. Take care, guys. See you.